All right, before we even get into it, do me a quick favor and smash that subscribe button. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss this.
Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a wild story. How is one of America's most famous and prestigious arts venues in the middle of a total box office meltdown?
It really is the million-dollar question. The Kennedy Center is, by all accounts, struggling big time to get people in the door. And when I say struggling, I mean struggling. Ticket sale data for the world-renowned Stuttgart's ballet, it's projected to be as low as 4% full on some nights. 4. That's not a typo. And this isn't some weird one-off either. Another dance troupe, Body Traffic, is looking at just 12% capacity for their shows. 12! Now, you can probably guess what happens when seats are empty, right? The money dries up. Subscription revenue, which is basically the lifeblood of these places, has reportedly tanked by about 50%. That is a massive, massive hit. So how are people on the inside reacting? Well, a Kennedy Center staffer who reportedly provided all this data summed it up perfectly. Their take? Big yikes. Yeah, that about covers it. Okay, so from a world-class institution to big yikes. How on earth did this happen? Let's hit rewind and trace the steps. It really all kicked off back in February of this year, when a new board of trustees, all loyal to President Trump, took the reins. And they came in with let's call it a brand new mission. And that mission was spelled out for everyone to see. On Truth Social, President Trump posted, "No more drag shows or other anti-American propaganda, only the best." The signal was crystal clear. The Kennedy Center was going to become a non-woke destination. This new direction immediately split the audience right down the middle. For instance, when the Trumps went to see Les Miserables, they were met with a whole lot of boos from some people in the crowd. While at the exact same moment, their supporters in the audience fired back with cheers and chants of USA, USA. It was literally a house divided. Now, to really push this new vision forward, especially for the dance programs, the new leadership brought in a new director. His name is Stephen Nakagawa. He's a former dancer who apparently calls himself a MAGA former dancer. And get this, he reportedly got the job by just sending a letter directly to the center's new president. And what was his pitch in that letter? Well, he laid it all out. He wanted to help, quote, end the dominance of leftist ideologies in the arts and return to classical ballet's purity and timeless beauty. And here's a fascinating little detail from this source material. During his own career as a dancer, Nakagawa was apparently known for playing the villains. You know, characters like the evil sorcerer in Swan Lake and the evil fairy in Sleeping Beauty. So you have this new mission, but what does non-woke art actually look like in practice? What are they putting on stage? Well, the previous director was reportedly fired because her choices were seen as too niche. The new vision? They're floating ideas like the reality TV show So You Think You Can Dance, and President Trump himself suggested bringing in huge Broadway classics like Cats and Phantom of the Opera. Which, of course, brings us right back to where we started this whole explainer, how the audience and their wallets are reacting to this new direction. And the numbers? They're just brutal. For some of the upcoming shows under this new leadership, they're looking at theaters that could be nearly 90% empty. Just a sea of vacant seats. And the fallout is real and it is spreading. You've got that huge 50% drop in subscription money. You have legendary performers like the Alvin Ailey Dance Company completely pulling out and moving their show to another theater. And on top of all that, the source mentions that President Trump has apparently talked about renaming the Kennedy Center after himself. So when you put it all together, it leaves this major American cultural icon at a really serious, really uncertain crossroads. It really boils down to this one central question. Can a major arts institution completely pivot its entire artistic vision to fit a political agenda and still hold on to its audience? Or does it just risk alienating the very community it's supposed to serve? What do you think? I genuinely want to know. Drop your take in the comments below. And of course, make sure you are subscribed for more explainers just like this one. Thanks for watching.